running out of luck, need to get unstuck, so go off. When you're up against the wall and you cannot fall, so go off, go off, go off.
Gotcha. Anybody there? Hello, hello, hello.
my mic on? Is it still on?
Well, good morning, or I should say good afternoon, everybody, from New Jersey Motorsports Park here in Millville, New Jersey. Ralph Shaheen and Ben Sissel with you on what is turning out to be a very nice day here, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yesterday was iffy, low clouds, a little bit of rain, but now it's absolutely beautiful blue skies right next to the airport here in Millville, New Jersey for the lottery speed. I didn't come to Atlanta, so I'm excited for this. This is a pretty fun track for these SVRA cars.
Biggest question of all is, do we get lottery tickets for working the events?
I don't know. Maybe previously scratched off lottery tickets.
Well,
yeah,
that's about what I would get anyway out of it. We do have our first race of the day here coming up with SVRA. This is groups 1, 2, 3, 4, 5B, and 8.
Yep. My favorite cars, because groups 1 and 3 are out there. You know, I love my small bore production cars. I'll quickly go through the grid. So Gavin Clark in a Group 2 Formula Ford starts out front. Amber Stevenson in a Group 8 almost open wheel car in that beautiful Lotus Super 7. Now, Amber is very fast here. She and her wife Serena have a condo just right over there with some beautiful cars in it. So this is her home track. Matthew Chimbolo starting third in a Mazda Miata. Jim Lenahan in a Group 8 Porsche 9146. Bill Shawaki in a 1955 Group 4 Chevrolet Corvette. Absolutely beautiful car. Benny Bish starting sixth in a BMW 2002. Terry Lippincott in that MG Midget. Rob Brownlee Tommaso in that beautiful 275 MGA. And then Bruce Smallacombe in a Triumph Spitfire, but I didn't see Bruce out there in his British Racing Green Spitfire.
No, don't see it. Here they come, headed over towards the front straightaway, working their way around. This is the Thunderbolt track here, Thunderbolt and Lightning.
Yeah.
Two different tracks you can run. Green flag is out as they're on the front straightaway, and we're headed down to turn number 1.
Amber has a little bit more power than Gavin, but she's got Bill Schwacke right behind with that 327 Corvette.
Amber on the inside in that red and white 5A as they go through 1. This big sweeper here is 3A, 3B, and 3C.
So that's Gavin in the Formula Ford, the red Ford.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Gavin is in the Ford. Amber's in that beautiful Lotus 7.
And then behind them is Bill Schwacke in the Corvette.
But there's my car right there. I love that.
That is a really unique looking car. That's the MGA.
That's what I have. I have a 59 MGA. So, I got to have a favorite out there.
Yeah, I could see you in one of those.
So Gavin is really pulled away, Gavin Clark. His dad, Mark Clark, is going to be running our Group 5A with us. And then there's Benny Bish in that 2002. He's been having problems, battery charging problems this weekend. I hope he sorted that out.
Jim Lenahan is starting to close in the Porsche 914-6, closing up on Schwacke in the Corvette.
Yeah, this is the part, this is very twisty here through this part all the way up until from about turn 7 till about turn 12. It's just two different carousels going the other way. So very good for Gavin Clark. Bill Schwacke is going to have some problems with that in that Corvette. But it works out perfectly for Amber Stevenson in that Lotus Super 7.
And then it's how much speed can you carry through the last corner out onto the front stretch here.
Now watch out for Amber Stevenson in that Group 8 Lotus Super 7. She wears the Wonder Woman racing suit. And I've been able to put in-car cameras in her car, in this car here. She is so smooth. She is an engineer by trade. Very intelligent, and she is so smooth on her steering inputs, her gas, her throttle, her brakes, and this being her home track, even though that Formula Ford should be able to have a bigger gap, she just knows this track so well.
Here's that battle for third we were talking about. You got Schwacke in the Corvette, and right behind him is that Porsche 914-6, Jim Lenahan.
Yeah, Jim Lenahan. Really good driver. I've known him since he raced a Datsun 240, then he went to an S2, and I think he seems to be very comfortable in this Porsche 9146. So right now Schwacke has an advantage coming up to about turn 6, turn 7, and then we should see Lenahan, just with that lighter, more nimble car, really be able to get right behind Schwacke, but then passing through these carousels is tough.
Yeah, look at him closing in here. Makes up a lot of ground through there. Picked up at least a car length. Going to take a wider line through here.
Yeah, he's just trying to do anything. And now it's a carousel the other way and a much tighter one. Very difficult.
And look, Ben, he's within a car length. Now he's going to the outside. The Porsche trying to utilize the handling to its advantage. And now we're getting into the area where the Corvette's going to start to leg it out. Look at that.
That big 327 cubic inch engine. But, Ralph, I know you're a Corvette guy. This has got to be cool because we don't see very many of these Gen 1 Corvettes.
No, I'm loving the sound of it, too, as it comes thundering by down the long front straightaway here. And then this is where the Porsche is going to start to get back into its section of the racetrack where it's so much quicker through here, 3A, B, and C. But, yeah, it's fun. It's always fun to not only see Corvettes but to hear them.
Yeah, the earth shakers. And it's one thing, like Jim Lenahan, very good vintage racer, so he knows he has the advantage. He has the faster car. He can do faster lap times than Schwacke, but it's getting around him. And this track, there aren't that many great passing zones, so you have to make those moves like Lenahan did in the last lap around the carousel on the outside. He's going to have to make a kind of not a very optimistic pass because there aren't declared passing zones like there are at other circuits we race.
Yeah, he was, again, in all these tight areas, you can see him close up, and then they get a little bit of straightaway, and the Corvette shows its strength.
Yeah, I think Lenahan's going to want to try to go around the outside at one of these, but, you know, a rear drum brake Corvette, that car can make itself really wide around a carousel.
Yeah, whether it wants to or not.
Mm-hmm.
Here he comes again. Lenahan looking, trying the outside. Still just can't get up close enough to get it done.
No, and he's got the brakes, but he doesn't have the power to just stay behind him here in what's kind of like a straightaway through 12 down to turn 1. Turn 1 is the big passing zone here, but with a car, these cars are very good in completely opposite ways, aren't they?
Yes, and that's what's making this fun to watch. So it's going to come down to, does either one of these drivers make a mistake to allow the other to either pull away or slip past?
Yeah, and Jim Lenahan is not used to racing with Group 4 cars. So he may never have, even though he probably does 6 to 8 vintage events a year, so does Schwacke, they may never have been on the track together before.
Yeah.
And it is up to, I don't know if you're familiar with the rules out there watching, it is up to the overtaking car to make a safe pass. So it's all up to that orange Porsche 9146 of Lenahan to make a safe pass, make sure that Bill Schwacke knows where he's going to pass him.
Well, two different experiences going on there too, right? Lenahan's Porsche right down on the ground, and that Corvette sitting in front of it's got to look awful big.
And that's the smallest Corvette, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Back in the, I was talking to Bill, back in the mid-50s, when everything in car design was rockets.
Yes.
Sputnik and the space program was kind of going off, so everybody had the big tail fins and the big rocket lights. But here we go.
Here we go. He's going to use the inside of the corner early now, which should give him an advantage. And he's going to complete the pass and get into this section here where he should be able to open up. Hopefully he can get enough of a gap bend that the Corvette doesn't eat it all back up down the front straightaway.
And I think that was just Bill Schwacke going 2 laps, keeping Jim behind him and thinking, knowing Bill, he's like, well, that's probably not fun for this Porsche. I'm going to just kind of take the outside, let him go. They're in 2 different groups, and now Bill's going to follow him around for a little bit.
And, boy, look at him come back down the straightaway. Look at that. Now, how are those drum brakes going to do down here?
Oh, that's not going to be good for Lenahan. He's not going to like that. So he is running front discs but rear drums, and that's just a safety thing, especially in cars like that. My MGA that doesn't have the power, it has 4-wheel drum brakes, and it's scary. So add, twice the horsepower. I can't imagine trying to front drum brake that thing.
And the weight.
Yeah. So now let's see if Bill gives it back to Lenahan where he did.
Well, if Jim can make that happen on the last lap again, he might be able to have just enough time to get to the finish line before the Corvette goes whistling back by.
So Gavin Clark out front in P1. Amber Stevenson just behind, about 3.5 seconds behind in Group 8. Then Jim Lenahan, then Bill Schwacke, then Benny Bish. So actually it's now Bill Schwacke, then Jim Lenahan, then Benny Bish in that Group 8. Then Tommaso in my favorite car out there, that MGA, and then Terry Lippincott in the MG Midget. But this is the battle.
Yeah, and here you see the Corvette just pulling away this time by. Jim's going to have to work pretty hard to catch back up to him again. Get in position and make an attempt.
So I am from St. Louis, so that car of Schwacke's was built in my hometown.
That's right.
Before they moved to Bowling Green.
That's right.
And these are the rarest of the Corvettes, these Gen 1s. They didn't make too many.
Wasn't a ton of them, no.
They were the competition for some kind of like the sports cars and the Jaguars of the day, but really the Ford Thunderbird is who they were going after.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Mustang didn't exist yet.
Yeah. So there is a change. Lippincott now ahead of Tommaso in that MGA.
There's the Beamer.
Benny Bish.
2002 Benny Bish.
What a great racing name.
That is a good one.
Okay, so let's see what Lenahan can do here. He's got to be starting to get kind of frustrated. Or these two might be having the time of their life, you know, because they are so, the Porsche is so good where the Corvette isn't, and vice versa.
Well, they're really having to work on their race craft here, aren't they? Both of them. Offense and defense.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great learning experience for both of these drivers. And a great circuit to do it on. And look at the Corvette just pull away now.
Tell you what, there's going to be some great bench racing between those two when it's over.
So we had Paul Quackenbush with us and Amber Stevenson in that Lotus 7. That was Paul Quackenbush's car up until about 5-6 years ago.
Well, the Corvette waving him by.
I think Bill's wanting to follow Jim, see where he's good. Now we should be able to see this Porsche gap here up till about turn 5.
Well, I think Bill Schwacke proved his point, didn't he? If I want to, I could probably stay out here in front of you.
Yeah.
There's your car back there, Ben.
Yeah, and here comes Gavin Clark to lap the two MGs. Two Group 1 cars. Gavin Clark is leading in Group 2 in his Formula Ford, the Crossley. Coming through the Mission section, the Mission Food section.
What is it about the MGA that attracted you to that?
Oh, it's just a poor man's Jaguar XK120. I love the lines of it.
Yeah.
It's a sexy car.
And he's smart enough to wave Gavin by.
Very inexpensive, neutral balanced. Has like a Chevy S10 frame under it, you know, and 1622 engine. Everything feels right. Everything is very analog. It's just a really fun car to drive. And I've just always loved MGs. I'm a glutton for punishment. So let's see if Schwacke can get him coming into 1. I think Lenahan has too big of a gap here.
He opened it up pretty good.
Man, it shook our booth.
Yeah, that thing is, it's got a rumble to it.
So Bill was telling me his dad has owned that car for a long time. It came out of a barn. They've been racing it, I think, for over 30 years, he said. But his dad first built same generation Corvette into a Concours show-winning car
Oh,
and
wow.
through that, somebody called and said, we've got one of those in a barn. You want to turn it into a race car? So they did. Still has the original grill. And if you know anything about those grills and the teeth of those grills, it's a piece of art, these grills and these Corvettes with the chrome work, and very hard to keep together.
Yeah. And good luck finding another one.
Mm-hmm. That is a cool car. See, I like my Austin Healey's, Jaguars from that era, and it's kind of like it has some British flair in it, these Gen 1 Corvettes.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I could see that. Certainly a lot bigger, but yeah.
But the American market at that time, they wanted bigger cars. Like, that was a small American car back then, but it's much bigger than these little British sports cars, the Italian cars at the time. But, you know, the American cars back then were huge.
And they only got bigger.
Like
as you get on to the Cadillacs and Lincoln and stuff like that.
Park that Corvette next to a 55 Chevy, Corvette looks tiny.
Yes.
But you put it next to the Porsche 9146 and it looks huge. So you were telling me you've called some motorcycle races here, but this is your first car race.
A lot of AMA Superbike weekends here. And up the Beamer off.
Hopefully that's not a power issue that he's been struggling with all
weekend. No, as you said, he's had issues with that all weekend. But yeah, we did a lot of AMA Superbike weekends here. All the support classes that come with that. Always did it on this layout over here on Thunderbolt.
Wow.
Never call anything over there on the Lightning track.
So the problem I have with New Jersey Motorsports Park is I come here, I see the signs, and then Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen is in my head all weekend long because it's Thunderbolt and Lightning. And then I have that in my head all weekend long.
Well, if you're going to have a tune in your head all weekend, I could think of a lot worse. At least you didn't say the Macarena.
Yeah, exactly.
Which now that I've said it, is going to be in your head all weekend.
But Amber Stevenson going around the MG Midget of Lippincott. And like I said, she is an engineer by trade. Serena is a R&D scientist, chemist. Both of them are chemists, chemical engineers. And I was talking to Amber yesterday. For that to be a Group 8, she still has to run a lot of ballast right there, a lot of lead in her floorboards. And knowing how those cars were made, and her being an engineer, you know, they were almost like bird cages. Yeah. Colin Chapman at the time, it was add lightness. So to have to run these just bricks of lead next to her, you know that's kind of got to bother her a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing what she knows, you know. She, being an engineer like that, and she and Serena are constantly building different race cars over in their apartment, which she's about to pass right now. They have an apartment here. They say they live about an hour and a half from here, but this is their weekend getaway. And she'll be out in a Indy Lights car later on that is just a beautiful car, the big blue one with the Buick 6 in it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, talking to a lot of IndyCar drivers, they think that was one of their favorite combinations.
Yeah. It's a very potent engine.
So there is Amber, Wonder Woman. She'll be with us in a couple weeks at Summit Point in her Formula Ford Lotus and I believe the Super 7. And then I think they're coming to Watkins Glen as well.
Oh, great.
So I'm hearing the white flag next time by on the Gavin Clark Formula Ford. But let's see if my MGA can catch up to Lippincott in that MG Midget. Uh-oh.
Leader has caught the Corvette and easily gets around the outside.
That's give credit to both those drivers because Bill looking in his mirror, seeing that, Gavin making sure that Bill sees him because those Formula Fords, they can get pretty hidden in the mirrors of these big cars.
Oh, yeah.
See a local yellow there for Benny Bish stopped at the side of the track. So this car, Gavin Clark, should be coming around to take the white flag.
There's the white waving.
Now the pace cars our nice new Corvettes.
C8.
Are you going to get to go out in one of those?
I did not get to go out in one.
I'm sure we can arrange that, Ralph.
I've driven.
But you should be able, as a commentator, you should know all the ins and outs of the track, and what better way?
I fully agree with you.
Okay, we can make that happen.
I've driven a couple of different C8s. Drove a C8 with the Z51 package on it, and then Z06 as well. And I can tell you, every step they've made has been huge. Now the ZR1X.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that they made basically a cost-effective supercar.
Oh.
Like, it's competing with the $1 million plus supercars, but
yes.
at a tenth of the price.
Yes. 200 grand roughly. Get yourself a ZR1.
So there's Gavin in that Crossley Formula Ford 32F. Amber Stevenson is going to be second if she keeps it up. Then Jim Lenahan in that Porsche 9146. Bill Schwacke, Terry Lippincott, Rob Brownlee Tommaso, and then Benny Bish out of the race.
Coming into the final corner, there he is in the background. As Lenahan takes the white, there's the checker right there. Gavin Clark, the Crossley 32F, led every lap.
There it is. There's my MGA. There's the design is a woman from the top because it does have hips. I like it anytime the body lines kind of follow the form and the fashion of the car. So, you know, each one of those little lines, aluminum hoods, doors, trunk lids, but they made a bunch of them. There are over 100,000 of those things made.
Wow.
So if they were a little bit more boutique back then, they'd probably be worth a lot more. But you can find running MGAs, nice running MGAs for under $20,000.
Amber Stevenson made her way to the line. She'll take second overall and first, Class 8. And it looks like the MG Midget is going to hang on for the top spot over the MGA. So Terry Lippincott.
And Lenahan
Masso
coming up behind him. I do like if you go up into the starter stand, big New Jersey Motorsports Park painted across the start-finish line. It's cool.
Yeah. And here he comes. Lenahan taking the checkers. His Porsche in front of Schwacke's Corvette.
If you ever get a chance to drive an MGB or an A or a midget, man, they're so much fun.
Well, I know a guy with an A.
Yeah,
Maybe someday.
I should bring it to Barbara.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right. We're coming right back to New Jersey Motorsports Park for more great racing action right here live. Stay with us.
Yes. Hon, the weather tech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Hawk Performance packs 100 years of friction dynamics into every product. Backed by Carlisle Brake and Friction, the world's premier innovator of industrial brake and friction components, Hawk leverages R&D tools and motorsports experience to deliver uncompromising performance on the street. There's no reason to settle for less. Choose pads that are race-proven and street-legal. Find the Hawk Performance Brake dealer near you at hawkperformance.com.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Architecture is about everything. We change the environment. We are changing how people live in the environment today. So we basically put our fingerprint on the future of what the United States looks like. My overall business philosophy is that I'm engaged with my company from top to bottom. And I think the racing world and helping out the next generation and younger drivers is a passion of mine, and is getting stronger and stronger every year. With that, that's why I want to be involved.
How good is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
We turn 140-mile-an-hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the VBox HD2 system.
Said.
One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good in the braking zone, like this one right here.
Both go around. There's the green. We are back and at it. Watch this. Oh, look out, Miller, look
Up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, all for less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Ralph, this is going to be your group this weekend. We've got some more modern Corvettes and Mustangs out there. We've got a TA2 car out there out front of that beautiful Corvette pace car. But this is SVRA Group 6, 10, and 12 at the New Jersey Lottery Speed Tour.
Lots of good noise coming out of this one, Ben. Lots of good engine rumbles.
So we have a small block. I was talking to Michael Leptic yesterday in the Chevrolet Monte Carlo NASCAR car there, the number 1. He's running a smaller engine.
Thank you.
Why is that?
You said it right.
The NASCAR car?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, yeah.
That drives me. That's one of my pet peeves. I mean, there's a NASCAR. No, it's a NASCAR car.
Try it.
National Association of Stock Car Automobile Racing.
See?
So you did it right. Thank you. Anyway.
We have the Python out there of George Vidovic. That's his car that he's developed in Australia. He is the dealer, seller of those cars. It's like, if you could say a Cobra on steroids, that's the Python.
Which is really hard to imagine, right?
Yeah.
Here we go, green flag, and we're underway. So all these guys have big horsepower to get down that long front straightaway. Who's going to have the most?
The TA2 car, but the other Porsche car out there would be of Scott Kissinger. Both of those would be GT2 cars. So they're very equally yoked, but in totally different ways.
Steve Byrne in the Chevrolet Camaro body TA2 car jumping into the lead. Car 04. There's the Python right there.
So he's moved up quite a bit. He's moved up 3 places.
Really cool looking Capri here, number 6.
And you need to see that car up close. It looks kind of like a Sunoco Camaro from the Trans Am days. All hand painted.
Pinstriping and all, yeah.
Yeah, really cool pinstriping on it.
Michael Buck, the owner and driver of that car.
So this is a neat battle here because both of these cars would, I think, race in like GT2 together. And just like our last race, in totally different ways. They're going to put together a lap in a totally different way. The Porsche is going to be stronger where the Camaro TA2 car isn't, and vice versa.
But they're not going to be as radically different in those areas as we saw with the Corvette and the 914-6, right? I mean, the TA2 Camaro body car is going to corner pretty good, and the Porsche is going to have pretty good grunt down the front straightaway.
Yeah, let's see what they do here going into Mission Foods 1. I was talking to Byrne. Byrne has raced a Datsun 510, a 240Z, but wanted to get into some power. And it's one of the first races he's had this car out. Doing really well. Yeah, look at that. They haven't gotten that far away from each other that whole lap.
No.
I want to say that's a 2012-2013 Howe chassis, so right at the beginning of TA2. So that's an early Howe chassis that he's in, coming through the Cube 3 section. Look at this gaggle of cars.
Yeah, and there's the Aston Martin. It's a Vantage. I didn't get a chance to stop by and check on that car, so I'm going to take a shot at the name. You tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I thought the same thing.
Okay, Emre Yallop.
That's close enough.
As good as we're going to get,
we'll
right?
Talk to him after today. Yeah, I'll talk to him at Winter Circle after this. But that Aston Martin is beautiful. I was looking at it at Grid yesterday. It was behind a very loud TA2 car, and that Aston Martin's just so quiet, so well put together.
Mm-hmm. And the Python engaged in a fight with another Porsche.
It's Cliff Goldsmith in that Group 12 Porsche.
The Aston fighting with the Cup car.
There were a couple of James Bond movies where he drove that Aston Martin that I just loved.
The DB5?
Yeah, that, these modern ones.
The modern one.
The DB5, yes, but remember what a stink it was when Pierce Brosnan, who is my favorite James Bond, drove a BMW. That was such a departure for James Bond. You know, so I like that they went back to the Aston Martins and Jaguars.
It just doesn't make sense, right?
But Halle Berry was in that one too, so I'll forget it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's going deep there as Byrne.
The TA2 car, yeah, sure did. Oh, and he made a mistake there going into the next corner. And the Porsche's around the outside. And just like that, Kissinger in the 222 Porsche GT3 Cup car is your new overall race leader.
Let's see what happens going into one, because they have about the same grunt. Yeah, so now Steve Byrne is going to have to hope and wait for maybe Scott Kissinger to just go a little bit offline somewhere.
Yeah. Kissinger is in a Group 10 GT4. Steve Byrne is in a Group 10 GT4. This is a good fight right here down the front straightaway.
Four cars you don't see together very much.
Is that 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, so Vitavic, all the way from Australia, manufactures these Pythons that have basically NASCAR Cup engines in them and a lot of other great road racing features. So like I said, a Cobra on steroids. I never thought, you know, let's take the craziest car and make it crazier. But, you know, that's just the Australian way.
Yeah.
And Aston Martin trying to get
Looking
around.
inside, yeah. And he got it. Makes the move. Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start on the Cobra to make it crazier, right? I mean, you go, it's already got a, you know, if you went with the biggest one, a 427 in it, now what do you do, right? Well, I guess a full-blown Cup race engine would do that.
Yeah, and maybe try to take out some of the body roll, some of the suspension geometry, but, you know, those things are pretty good out of the box.
Sure weren't bad.
Looks like the Aston Martin.
Here comes the Aston legging it out. Gonna whistle past the Porsche. No, had to get back hard on the brakes.
Yeah, and that, in any other series, he had that corner. But Emery, to his credit, is like, I'm right there, but it's a gray area. You know, didn't have, so he gave it back, which is going to cost him. It's probably a whole lap to catch back up to the Porsche. Yep. But with Cliff Goldsmith there in that 911, it's very hard to be that patient. So we appreciate that. Emery and that Aston Martin.
Well, that's what vintage racing is supposed to be about, right?
You don't want to tear up your car, and you especially don't want to tear up your car and your buddy's car.
That's right. Just one of the things I think that makes it attractive to a lot of folks. Now, here's a very cool car. Number 97 of Roger Regna, Chevy Corvette.
Red, white, and blue Corvette. Doesn't get much better than that.
Should all be that way, right? All the race cars.
Although I like those CompuWare Ron Fellows era Corvettes. From
the Velocity Yellow.
Yeah.
Which Doug Feehan wanted because he wanted to be able to see his cars wherever they were on the racetrack. Obviously, you can hear them wherever they are, but you couldn't always see them if they were any other color. So he went with the Velocity Yellow, as it's called, and became a very popular Corvette color on the racetrack.
You know, I like my vintage cars, but that Aston Martin is beautiful.
It really is. They got great lines.
It's not DB4, DB5 beautiful.
No.
But it's right there. I like that they kept the lineage.
Yeah.
You know, Aston Martin made some really ugly cars in the 80s, so I'm glad they went back to it.
You can definitely see the heritage to it, right?
Yeah. They're a little offline there in turn 4. Here's our leader. And the reason this is Thunderbolt and Lightning is when you come over the bridge, it is a historic place. There's a big concrete box where the planes would pull up during World War II, just about to send the planes to the European theater. They would shoot their machine guns into this box to check the aim.
Yeah.
And you can see where they went way up and way down, and all the bullet holes are still there in the concrete, but the Thunderbolts and Lightning airplanes were manufactured near here, and they took off from this airport.
And it was, it's a protected historical landmark.
Which it should be.
Yeah.
There's Tim Bowder in that beautiful Ford FP350S. He's been with us a few times this season.
Great sounding car.
Yeah. So even as a Chevy guy, you can appreciate Ford.
Oh, absolutely. Fix or repair daily.
I love it.
Or first on race day, depending on which side of the Ford blue oval you sit. No,
I lean a little bit more Ford. I had a Mustang GT as a kid, so I'll lean that way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure had my dad bought an IROC Z, I'd lean more Chevy.
We all have our passions, if you will, and the things that get your blood going a little bit more than others, and certainly Corvettes are that for me. But I've truly been a race fan at the core, and I enjoy every form of motorsport, top to bottom, whether you're at a truck and tractor pull or a Monster Jam show, or you're here at SVRA, or getting to watch the Thunder of Trans Am going around.
Yep.
I thoroughly enjoy myself at every single one of those. And when somebody asks me, hey, what's your favorite event to do? I always tell them whatever's next on the calendar, because I'm looking forward to seeing those cars and seeing those friends in the garage area and paddocks.
Well, I saw a billboard here driving into the track that monster trucks are going to be here, and there's a line of cars back there at turn 3 getting ready to be smashed by some monster trucks coming here in August.
Done a lot of monster truck shows over the years, and, you know, that's one of those things that...
Have you met Gravedigger?
I have. And Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot St. Louis for a while.
Going all the way back.
Yeah.
The original. Here we come, up front straightaway, working the draft.
The Aston Martin was able to get around the Porsche. Vidovic might be a little bit more difficult.
Certainly going to be hard to get him on the front straightaway.
Look at the flares on that Cobra. Just a little bit wider track than even the Cobra 427s.
So hard to believe. It looks like a kit car of a kit car, right?
Yeah. But it is cool, and he does a very good job building those things, because he's raced with us 20, 30 times here. He does like, oh, here we go.
Comes the Aston looking inside. Probably going to have better brakes, I would think. No, not the off-the-corner power that he needs.
But I've never known George Vidovic, I hope I do a commentator's curse, to go out with any kind of mechanical or anything. So he's building some really nice cars.
This is a great fight right here between the Corvette and the Mustang. Both, like I said, with great engine notes to them, but they do distinctively sound different. I mean, if you close your eyes and as they went by, you would definitely be able to tell which one was in front of the other.
There's our leader, Scott Kissinger, coming up on this group of cars.
Well, once he got out there, he hasn't been threatened at all, has he?
I wonder if he's a local here as well.
Well, he's about to maybe catch this pack if there's enough laps left on the clock.
Where is the Aston Martin to overtake? I think he's going to try to overtake between 4 and 5, like he tried to last time, but he's got to get right up on the back of this Cobra.
Well, that's where he is now. Ooh, he slid through there.
Not going to do it this time. And now Leptic has the leader in his mirror, and I hope he's looking in his mirror.
Well, this could be a problem for Kissinger. If he can't get through these guys quickly, it could open the opportunity for Byrne to close back up. And he seems to be doing it. Everybody's getting out of his way, even though they're all in a battle themselves. Because there goes Byrne. You saw him. He's not that far behind.
Okay, so there's Emery letting him go. I'm sure Kissinger's thinking, man, that Cobra is wide.
Yeah.
Sorry, Python.
Got to interview Carroll.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did a big sit down with him once. Very cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Lived up to everything he thought he would be going into it. Great guy. That was really close, and that's going to help the Aston out a bunch.
Yeah.
Here they come on the front straightaway. Can he take advantage of it? And here comes the TA2 car, whistling up the inside on everybody.
I don't know if he's going to get it.
Oh, he got all but one.
But you're right, that has brought Byrne closer to Kissinger.
Yeah.
Now,
Byrne was getting everything out of that car he could on the front straightaway.
Byrne was talking to me about he got to see a lot of the 70s Trans Am races with the Datsun 510 from the John Thornton days. That's why he started racing a Datsun 510 and then wanted a little bit more power and found this TA2 car. Looks like he's having some fun out there.
You're definitely going to get more oomph with this thing.
Yeah.
Probably putting out somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 horsepower.
Yeah, and a car that rotates a lot better than it looks like it should.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
So there are two racetracks here like we were talking about. There's a go-kart track, there's axe throwing and paintball. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a billiards hall here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. So a little bit of everything.
I get the feeling you and I should not go over there and do the axe throwing.
Yeah,
We'd probably be the ones that when it hits the block of wood, it bounces back. We would have that kind of luck.
There's the 222.
Interesting number choice.
Yeah. There's those cars that the monster trucks are going to smash.
Seeing those things, and now they weigh 10,000 pounds. They do backflips and front flips and stuff. It's just incredible how far that has come. There it is, Ben. Michael Buck's Ford Capri.
I love that thing.
We've had a couple of Capris this year.
Yeah. Yeah, all of them really cool. This one, though, just because it's kind of a homage to the Penske Camaros.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I like it. And I was looking at it yesterday talking to him. It's very, very well put together. That is a cool car.
Anytime a car has and done pinstriping on the fan.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is kind of the time in the 70s where they were trying to figure out American cars need to be a little bit smaller. you know, and with the gas crisis and the Cadillacs and the Ford Lincolns, Continentals and town cars just became boats.
Well, it was also how Ford could have a big impact in Europe.
Yeah, so they made them a little bit smaller, and so that would still be considered a pretty big mid-sized car. But in America, in the market back then, that was a small car.
Yeah. Of course, the Capri had all kinds of success in racing in Europe.
On and off-road.
Yeah, in a wide variety of genres. And the Capri hanging out in front of the Mustang right now.
Then the Escorts, Cosworth Escorts, those things were crazy.
Yes. White flag is out here at start-finish line. Kissinger taking it. One more lap for him in Group 10.
This seems like this would be a great Porsche Cup car track.
Has been so far.
Yeah. Just enough twisty bits to make it really fun for such a well-balanced car like that. You can see those solar panels there in the background powering New Jersey Motorsports Park. One lap left for that Aston Martin to try to get around that Python of George Vidovic.
I would think a Porsche GT3 Cup car has got to make you feel like a hero too, right? Because it's such a good car in every way that no matter what level of your driver's skill you've got, you're going to run pretty good in that car.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you play video games and you're trying to set up your player and you might be really good somewhere, but that makes you weak somewhere else. The Porsche is like just kind of well above average in every category. It doesn't do anything exceptionally well, but it does everything well enough to make it such a well-balanced car.
Yeah. You're not good under the brakes? No problem. Just stomp on them. I'll get you there. And I'm going to get you down the front straightaway in full blast. Here he comes. Checkered flag. Scott Kissinger, the Porsche GT3 Cup car, takes the overall win, and in Class 10, Steve Byrne chased him through the majority of this one. He'll finish second in his TA2 Camaro.
Tim Bowder kind of all by himself in the race in that Mustang Ford FP350S, but the battle really is for 4th through 7th with Vidovic, Henry, Cliff Goldsmith.
Yeah, we want to see if that Python is able to hang on there. Here they come off the final corner. Drag race is on to the checkered flag. The Python moves over and hangs on for the win, or not the win, but the position in front of the Aston Martin. Well, that was a fun one, Ben. We had good competition all the way through.
Yeah, this track is a very deceiving. We've said this a few times in some of the circuits this year. On paper, it looks pretty simple, but in practice, there's just these slight elevation changes. In this carousel section you're looking for here, it's like big radius carousel to the right, then a tight one to the left right after it. It makes for some very challenging driving.
And because it's the way it's laid out, it's got some elevation, but for the most part, it's pretty flat, kind of a NOLA-like track, if you will. And the camera shots far away as we are here, it's really hard to tell how fast this track is, but it is. When you talk to the drivers, they'll tell you you carry a lot of speed around here.
Yeah, there aren't any first gear corners like some of the other tracks we go to.
There's no turn 5 like a Road America or anything like that, right? Well, this one is wrapped up. We're going to take a bit of a break, and then we'll be back at 4 o'clock over on Speed Sport 1. Some great open-wheel competition for you coming up. The Ligier JFC will have F4, Formula Regional Americas, all from here at New Jersey Motorsports Park, 4 o'clock, live over on Speed Sport 1. Ben Sissel, I'm Ralph Sheen. Thanks for joining us. See you in a few.
In racing, every second counts. Communication isn't just important, it's everything. Established in 1996 in Daytona Beach, Florida, Speedcom Communications was born from a passion for racing and a vision to revolutionize motorsports communication. Trusted by competitors across the world.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
Good is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
We turn 140 mile an hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the V-Box HD2 system.
Up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Yes. Hon, the WeatherTech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Hawk Performance packs 100 years of friction dynamics into every product. Backed by Carlisle Brake and Friction, the world's premier innovator of industrial brake and friction components, Hawk leverages R&D tools and motorsports experience to deliver uncompromising performance on the street. There's no reason to settle for less. Choose pads that are race-proven and street legal. Find the Hawk Performance Brake dealer near you at hawkperformance.com.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
All right, come on, New Jersey. Get loud for these drivers here. This was a lot of fun. SVRA here at the New Jersey Lottery Speed Tour at New Jersey Motorsports Park. I'm going to come up here onto the stage, but I want everybody to get really loud. So first, Group 10, SVRA stock car. Let's hear it from Michael Leptic. Come on now, in that beautiful Monte Carlo, the red number 1. Michelle's giving you the red hat. The Hawk certificate. Leptic, up to the top step. How was your race out there?
Hot, but fun. We had a bunch of cars in front of me I was able to keep up with, so it's sometimes when I'm out there by myself, it's not quite as interesting. So this was fun. Yeah, I was watching those guys up in front of me and hoping something happened, but nothing did. So everyone's good. Yeah, when you have a Winston Cup, NASCAR Cup car with a Porsche Cup car, that's a weird combination out there. And then you have an Aston Martin and that Python up there ahead of you. That had to be a little bit of fun. It's a lot of fun because you saw out there there's power cars and there's handling cars, and this is a track where if you got the power, it's easier to stay in front a lot of times. So and then when you get the handling, if you can get a couple seconds, then you can hold them off on the straight. So it's a good track for mixed cars like this. Nice. All right. Well, let me put this up like that. Hold that up for us. Get a picture from Michelle. Come on now. Let's hear from Michael Leptic out there in our Group 10 stock car. I like it. Even you guys, I like that. Very nice. So we're going to go Group 10 GT. So, in third place, Group 10, in that Python, we were talking about this in the live stream, to take like the craziest car ever made and make it even crazier, these Pythons produced by George Vidovic all the way from Australia, ladies and gentlemen. How crazy is that? In third place in that beautiful Python. Let's hear it for George. Come on up here, George. That's a long trip, too. And then I talked to this driver yesterday. He's kind of new to this TA2 car, having a lot of fun out there. Let's hear it for Steve Byrne in second place in a 2012 Howe chassis. And then in first place, he's kangarooing up here. I like that. In first place, let's hear it for Scott Kissinger in that 222 Porsche. George, come on up here because we were trying to talk about this and you gave us a great sheet at the last race. But to take the craziest car ever made and make it even crazier, it's weird to say like a Cobra on steroids, but how do you describe it?
Well, mate, it's built by me. It's chassis, body, everything. It's built, not bought. That's it, mate. That's the bottom line. It's a car that we built in Australia. It ran a two-car team in Australia in the sports car series over there. And we decided to bring it to you Yanks to see what we can do. And it's not all about horsepower. It's about strategy and the way you drive your car. So thank you so much for it was so intense holding those boys off on every lap after lap. I'm so appreciative that the racing was clean. None of the boys dived bombed me. It was sensational. Thank you very much. Loved it, mate. It was intense.
Nice. Intense. I love it. It was fun to see where the Aston Martin was strong, where the Python was strong, and that's kind of what this mixed class racing is all about.
Well, it's tough because, you've got late model cars that have got technology of 50 or 60 years, and then you've got cars like mine that were built in the backyard of Melbourne, and we've sort of grabbed our thumb and gone in the middle of the air going, okay, what works. It's a chassis design that we designed, round tube. So you've got 50 years of motor racing history in the Porsche. You've got another 50 years in the Aston Martin. I mean, it is what it is, and I'm glad that we're amongst the fray of all these classic internationally based cars. It's fantastic. Thank you.
Nice. I love it.
And then Byrne, we were talking, you go from a Datsun 510 to a 240Z, now to this TA2 monster. How was it for you out there?
It was great. I knew I'd have a challenge from Scott. We've raced together before, and if I'd make a mistake, he'd pounce. And sure enough, I made a mistake. So it was a great race, but we'll do it again. So,
nice. Yeah, we'll do it again. How about that? Come on now, let's hear for these drivers. And then Kissinger, top step. That had to be a lot of fun out there. I know that these TA2 cars can look very, very wide, but you were able to get around through that back carousel section and then just kind of took off.
Yeah, first of all, I would say thank you to SVRA, my friends, my family. Steve and I are friends. We go way back. George and I are friends, so it was really a lot of fun out there, especially since George hates Porsches. That made it even more enjoyable. But thank you. I had a lot of fun. Steve had the pole and made a little opening, and then I wasn't going to need to be invited twice, so that was the end of it. So thank you, guys.
Nice. I love it. How about that? Come on now. Let's give a big round of applause for George Vidovic, Steve Byrne, and Scott Kissinger in our Group 10. Then we will go Group 12. All right, do we want a picture of everybody up on top? There we go. Come on now. Get loud, New Jersey. This is fun. This is supposed to be fun here at the New Jersey Lottery Speed Tour. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to go with Group 12 now. So, in third place, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Michael Buck. Where is he? One of my favorite cars here this weekend. In second place is Cliff Goldsmith. Where's Cliff? Nice. In first place in that beautiful FP350S, the number 52 there. Let's hear for Tim Bowder. You're in the 501, right? Yes. Okay, great. All right, so probably one of my favorite cars here this weekend is this Ford Capri that kind of resembles a Sunoco Camaro from the Trans Am days, but the pinstriping on it is done by hand. Just a beautiful car. You were kind of out there by yourself, but did you have fun out there?
I had a lot of fun out there. I want to thank everybody, New Jersey Motorsports Park, SVRA, for bringing us out here. I wish we'd get more turnout, but here we had a great race today. Beautiful weather, and thank you to my family, Steve Byrne, who's also one of my mechanics that helps me with the car. He's been significant in making it work. And then Bob Lima, he's not here today, couldn't be here, but we all know Bob Lima. He's another part of my racing history to get me to SVRA. So thank you, everyone.
Nice. That's awesome. I love Bob Lima, too. Oh, that is so cool. So Goldsmith out here in that beautiful Porsche. Man, you were in the thick of it out there with that Aston Martin, the Python. That was really fun. Was it fun for you?
Oh, it was great. Out of horsepower, but it was great.
Out of horsepower, you said?
I was out of horsepower in the straightaway.
Is it a 3.6? Which engine you have in there?
3.6.
Anybody you want to thank?
Everybody. It was great. It's a great day to come out here and JMP. Come all the time.
Nice. Nice. He says he comes out here all the time. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? And then first, Tim Bowder. You've been with us a few times this season. Beautiful car. Tell us about your race.
Unfortunately, not a lot of competition right around me, but George made a nice little dart at the beginning there, so I had to make sure he didn't sneak in front of me, and then just kept checking my mirror, trying to keep some space and run some consistent laps, and had a great time. This is the first time I've ever raced here. I've driven here before, although not with the chicane, so that was a nice little twist, and it was a great time. Had a wonderful time. Nice. Great race.
I love it. Well, come on, New Jersey Motorsports Park, let's get loud for Group 12 SVRA. That was a lot of fun. Fun race to call. Michael Buck third, Cliff Goldsmith second, and then Tim Bowder on the top step. Hold up those prizes from Hawk, some great certificates. You good? All right, well, that does it for the SVRA portion of today. Stay tuned later. We're going to be doing some fan walks with the Ligier JFC, F4, and FR. But thank you to our SVRA competitors. Some new red hats going back to Melbourne, Australia. Stay tuned.